a guy that you met last year on this very day. He came on the morning show, talked about his commitment, really got to know the kid a great deal ever since. And you talk about recruiter, leadership. This kid exudes it, and I'm talking about Wilton Speight. Well, Wilton, man, I know I just saw you here recently, but I got to tell you once again, congratulations on officially being a Wolverine.
Thank you, Sam. Thanks y'all for having me on. I'm honored to be on the show again and be here officially as a Michigan Wolverine.
Yeah, it's a reunion of sorts, to say the least, to have you on. It's like we've come full circle because you kind of helped start the last class. Now I know Mike Ferns was already in, but you kind of followed his lead and really went out and started blazing your own trail as a recruiter. Let's talk about that part of it, the part of it that you said, hey, I want to help build a special class.
Yeah, it seems like just yesterday we were talking on the phone last signing day when the morning of my commitment, and now we're sitting here looking at the whole class came together, 16 guys, and it's all official. Michael and I talked probably the first or second day that I was committed, and he said, look, we've got to do our best to put together the best class we can, and the coaches are kind of putting this upon us. They're going to be out on the road and recruiting hard too, but players listen to other players, and we found that out pretty quickly. And I started with Drake, and who's now my roommate and one of my best friends, and we worked to Jabril and a bunch of other guys. And not only do we have a really great class of athletes, but a great class of people. And I couldn't be more excited to get on the road with these 7 guys right now and get the rest of the guys in here this summer and turn it into something special.
Wilton, you know that I have, followed you and talked to a lot of people about you. Talked to your quarterback coach, Steve Clarkson. Talked to your head coach, Palio. Talked to your dad. Talked to analysts that have watched you grow over the years. And listen to all of these people talk about the growth of your game and difference in your game. But what about you? When you look back before you got hurt, before you had the collarbone injury, all the way till now, what do you see as being different in your game? Where did you improve? How did you improve?
Well, a lot of people can watch film and watch me work out, and they can see, my mechanics are better, my footwork is much better, I'm faster, I'm stronger. But I think one of the things that people don't see that is most important, and it's the reason that I'm here, is my ability to lead and get the guys around me to get fired up about this game we play and be motivated. I was down at the Under Armour game and kind of showed that off a little bit. Got the guys, gathered them up, and we were fired up for that whole week. And did the same thing with my high school. And I think before I got injured, I let the whole quarterback persona, like the whole title that came with being in my position, it got a little bit to my head. And once it was taken away from me, in one play, I kind of realized, wow, I've got to take advantage of this. I can't just let it slip by. And, I grew up a lot quicker than I would have without the injury. And, I kind of became a man. And that's, when I decided it was go time. And I really think that's what took my game to a whole new level.
Yeah, I think people are starting to realize that about you, something that I know is very early, that you have that leadership quality. But another thing that I noticed very early on that it seems like people are starting to become privy to is that, sure, you're 6'6", 6'7", you're a big guy, but it's not like you're this stick in the mud back there. I think that's a big misconception about you. You feel like people think you can't move back there?
Yeah, obviously with being 6'6" and 230 pounds, people are going to think you're not very mobile and you kind of just sit back in the pocket and fire it around the field. But, if you look at my tape and if anyone's seen any of my high school games, I'm more than capable of getting out of the pocket, making people miss and using my strength to shed people off. And then once I'm in the open field, I'm able to, not blow past people, but get, 7, 8, 9 yards, maybe a first down here and there and more importantly slide and get down to protect the body. But, yeah, I mean, people have the right to think that I might be like that, but once they see me play and see how I can move, I think I changed their mind a little bit.
And another thing, Wilton, that I think people found out about you down at Under Armour is, man, yeah, sure. People might talk a little smack to you, but you can dish it back a little bit. I heard Jabril Peppers. Jabril yaps at everyone, but he had a little special yapping for you, and you gave it right back. Sure, he picked the pass off on you, but you hit a big play on him as well. You can dish it out dish it out too.
Yeah, I growing up, my favorite quarterback was Phillip Rivers, and he probably does a little bit too much, and I'm not at that level yet, obviously, of being the NFL or smack talking wise, but I'm not going to sit there and take anything. And being down at the Under Armour game, really gave me a little bit of practice for what I'm about to walk into in spring ball, because it's going to be a whole new level, and I'm going to make mistakes, and I've got to be able to limit those mistakes, but also if someone's up and yapping in my face to get right back in them. So it'll be a fun time. You got to have fun. You got to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely, Wilton. And last one for you. You've been on campus a couple of weeks. You got a new position coach and offensive coordinator. Just your initial impressions and interaction with Doug Nussmeier. How has that gone? What do you think? How has the transition been?
Yeah, during the whole recruiting process, I got close to a number of coaches, and some I got closer to than others. And Coach Nussmeier was actually one at Alabama that my dad and myself got really close to during the whole recruiting process. He and I kind of hit it off when I was down at camps and on my visits to Alabama. And I always thought he was such a cool guy. And I love Coach Borges, but it worked out just fine for me because I really like Coach Nussmeier. Shane, Devin, Russell, Garrett, and Brian, they all love Coach Nussmeier. He's really come in and embraced all of us, and the system that he runs is pretty interesting, pretty neat, and I'm having fun studying it. So it worked out very well. I wish Coach Borges the best, but I'm very pleased with the decisions Coach Hook made, and we're gonna win a lot of games. So I'm excited.
Well, Wilton, I'm happy for you. Congratulations, and do your thing, and we'll be talking to you again real soon.
Thank you. All right, guys, go Blue.